890 kilometers northwest of Luoyang in Gansu province, the peony is prized in its northernmost Chinese habitat. 18-year-old Wei Yanni returns home from university in the provincial capital, Lanzhou. Her childhood memories are still fresh in her mind as her grandfather inscribes a blessing for her on a ceremonial tablet. The peonies on the wall have been happy witnesses to their family life. Then grandfather and granddaughter go up into the hills to seek out the most beautiful tree peony they can find. The tradition of hanging blessings on the tree peony dates from the Tang Dynasty around 1200 years ago. It started with scholars who were taking the imperial examinations. The final results of the imperial examination were announced in the spring. The successful candidates would ride on their horses to celebrate by admiring the springtime flowers. One poet wrote, "In the pleasant breeze of a fine spring day, the successful candidates raced their horses to see all the flowers of the city." Since Luoyang was one of the Tang capitals, peonies would have featured prominently, and so the peony came to be associated with exam success. In Gansu, people often grow peonies in their yards, an auspicious flower to bring good fortune to the household. Since those far-off days of the Tang, it became a custom, when the peonies come into flower, for people to gather in their courtyards and toast the arrival of the new blooms. A peony-themed banquet with dishes and decorations to match.
这个牡丹，种了很多年，现在女儿考上大学了，有时牡丹给我们带来的富贵之象的象征。所以这个牡丹呢，我自己爱，我的女儿更爱。今天天气很热了，大家都会聚在一块赏牡丹，吃团圆饭，我就非常高兴，非常自豪。比牡丹比这个容易溜子呀。 哎呀，我这河坡月气呀，护不得呀。北嘛北着嘛刚给呀，给着人嘛给刚，要弄得红着的让人多呀，红牡丹红着嘛给刚，金木长的山前嘛刚。
This local folk song is a centuries-old romantic ballad. It recalls the hopes and joys of love. It's another way in which the peony has become entwined with people's hearts. After the Song dynasty, as cultivation techniques advanced, the peony became more and more a part of the lives of ordinary people. "3,000 kilometers in the opposite direction is Taipei. It's a city steeped in Chinese culture. Early mornings in the square, in front of the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall, are given over to traditional forms of exercise and relaxation. In a setting which can be seen repeated all over China, these ladies are taking their morning exercise by dancing to a traditional song about the peony.
台湾人我们一般哦，比方说送礼啊、结婚什么哦，他是把它当做一种富贵的祝福，来祝福富贵，就是幸福的意思。
喜欢啊，富贵花。
它样子呢，叫什么？
很高贵啊。
好高贵。高贵。
高贵又美丽，像她。
Across the nation, the flowering season brings out a common sentiment. The Sea-Deek people are one of Taiwan's famed Aboriginal tribes. For centuries, they have lived by the mountain forests, surrounded by a panoply of exotic flora. But in 2013, it was a unique cause for celebration when peonies from Luoyang arrived in Taiwan for the first time. In ancient times, it may have been a first glance of such beauty that brought people and peony so close together. Since then, as China's culture spread out from the kingdoms of the Central Plains, the peony traveled with it, with settlers and traders, merchants and scholars. The peony came to be a symbol for the very nation itself. After months of preparation, Wei Juxin is setting off for Guangzhou. His dream is that his auspicious peonies will enjoy glory in the south. But it may not be plain sailing. The temperature as they leave Luoyang is -7 degrees Celsius. A 2,000-kilometer journey to Guangzhou will take them through 4 provinces and a near 20-degree rise in temperature. Guangzhou is a major horticultural center with all kinds of flowers in bloom throughout the year. But the hot, humid climate is far from ideal for the peony, which prefers a drier environment. Two days later, the tens of thousands of pots of peonies arrive at their destination. Wei hasn't had any sleep for 40 hours. Then his worst fears come true. He has lost almost 1/3 of his 120 pots of assorted peonies.
哎呀，这个你看，这个从洛阳运到广州这2天时间，你看有这些花来，你看现在都有点这个枯了。现在这个看上去的话是比较严重。
Three 1,000-square-meter greenhouses are rapidly put up. Normally, the peonies would bloom in late spring. But to have them ready in time for Guangzhou's New Year Flower Festival, Wei is going to force his blooms. Techniques for forcing flowers may also go back as far as the Tang Dynasty. It's said that the Queen Emperor, Wu Zetian, once ordered that all the flowers should bloom in winter. The legend goes that the peony, being the only flower that didn't obey her, was then banished from the capital, Chang'an, to the secondary capital at Luoyang. The first recorded success in forcing peonies comes from the Ming Dynasty in the 14th century. The average temperature in Guangzhou at this time of year is around 10 degrees Celsius. But a sudden cold snap drops the temperature to freezing.
或者王木，来，好，走，小木梯子搬来，撞出去个我就别滚，跑快点，不吃得劲。
Successful forcing requires exactly the right temperature at exactly the right time. This sudden drop is going to blow Wei's plans to pieces. He tries to get around the problem by rushing powerful heating units down from Luoyang overnight. He can't let the buds suffer frost strike. Then the cold retreats as suddenly as it had arrived. Now their solution to the heating problem threatens a disaster. Many of the peonies start to bloom too early, and there's still 15 days to go before the Chinese New Year. The fickle climate is a real challenge to Wei's skills. He has to find a way out. It's a full-scale emergency operation. Normally, Wei is an expert at controlling the time of blooming, but he's never experienced such dramatic swings in weather before. From freezer to furnace and back again, man and peony face a fate unknown.
顶不到春节了，现在离春节还有10天时间呢。心疼人，真心疼人。